Hello, friends, and welcome to another special side episode of A Fool's Perspective. This time, we're bringing a couple buddies of ours. They helped us out on a special edition of a first ever wrestling podcast. Now they're here to help us talk solely about the upcoming Avengers Endgame. If you guys follow the Fool's Perspective podcast, you guys know of our famous Avengers 4 speculation section, part of each podcast where we predict a singular thing that might happen in the upcoming Avengers Endgame movie. So you know what? We're just going to do a whole podcast about it.
I like that.
I like that too. With me this time is Justin.
Hi.
Our resident other co-founder of the Pack of Fools.
It's exciting because when we do podcasts on not Thursdays, I can attend.
Yeah, well, you know what?
It's good to be here.
Get a better schedule. And joining us, our two special guests, we have Anthony.
Hey guys, glad to be back. How you guys doing?
And Peter.
I'm full of hope for once.
Well, so, oh God, there's been so much hype for this movie. This movie's going to make $3 billion.
That's it?
It better.
Yeah.
It better beat Avatar.
Oh my God, this movie's going to make so much goddamn money. All right, let's start with that. Did you guys buy your tickets?
No.
Yes.
Nope.
I bought mine.
Friday, 3 o'clock.
Where?
The Showcase Cinema Deluxe in Farmingdale.
Oh, that was close. I got it on 16.
Oh, okay.
3 o'clock. I was like, are we seeing this movie together?
I may be working my way into midnight tickets on the 25th.
Ooh. You better not say a fucking word.
Yeah. I better not get a text from you
yeah,
saying.
exactly. I don't even want to say, I can't wait for you to see it. I don't want you to say it. Goddamn.
You can see it. You can see it Saturday.
Yeah. No, I'm ready to go. I got the most expensive tickets I could get, the nicest theater I could possibly go into. I told my girlfriend, don't say a fucking word to me the entire movie. I don't want to hear one question.
Save all your questions for the end.
Yeah,
Make
save
sure
it
you
for
pee
after
and
the
poop
credits.
before the movie starts. Just get it all out of the way.
I'm actually pretty good with that in movies.
Yeah, no, I'm not that either.
I
I'm
tend
terrible.
to make sure that
Are you?
I'm terrible. That's why I'm making sure I'm not eating and drinking a single thing throughout this whole movie.
starve yourself.
Just starve myself the whole day. This way I don't have to go take a shit.
I'm going to have
during
the big popcorn, the collector Avengers cups.
Exactly. Well, I'm going to Alex 16, so I'm going to have some delicious Nathans right there. I'm going to have a full 5-course meal ready to go.
Well, if I get this ticket, which I'm hoping, I'll be at Regal in my little lounge seat, you know.
Are you really going to go by yourself?
No. So my boss bought 4 tickets. And right now, only 3 of them are in use. So I'm in the bidding for the 4th one.
I meant, are you really going to go with that, Alexa? Because now this is recorded, and now she will know that this is your plan.
So my girlfriend lives in Philadelphia, and we made an agreement when she moved that there would be certain movies.
She's not like a 40-year-old black man. Like, they know each other in real life,
She's
too.
not a 40-year-old.
No,
black man.
I know.
appreciate it.
I've met your girlfriend.
I mean, like, you didn't meet each other
That's right. No,
online
they
or
have
something.
met.
I met your girlfriend,
Yeah, so
Justin.
we made an
We
agreement
met her at
that
graduation.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. So I made an agreement that when she moved, there would be certain movies that would be off the table unless we saw them together. And unfortunately, I'm dating an Avengers fan. So Endgame.
You misnegotiated this.
Endgame is one of those movies that's off the table. So I've been very subtly dropping hints and begging and
Pleading.
pleading just a little bit. I'm thinking I can get away with murder here if I just don't tell her.
So you're going to edit this podcast and you're going to bleep out this entire section.
You're just going to hear Avengers theme song music.
Just playing the entire opening. Oh, I guess we'll see what happens there. Tune in to that backlash.
The death of Justin.
We'll have a podcast in a couple of weeks about how single life is going.
Exactly.
We'll recap your death.
Yeah. We'll throw a funeral.
We'll
for
get
you.
one of those. We'll get those telestrators that John Madden used to use, and we'll just go.
We'll replay it.
We'll moment by moment, dissect
Well, you
where
see
you went wrong.
here when she takes the knife, she takes it and she puts it into his chest. That's going to stab him. That's
Now
gonna
she
stab
comes
him.
down with a downward motion, and that's how you really want to do it.
If she went in an up angle, there was a chance he might have survived.
But she knew what she was
No,
doing.
no, he's dead. There he is.
No,
He's dead now.
She
And
was
somehow
going for
this
the
is
heart.
still not enough of a deterrent to keep me from trying to
Absolutely not.
Well, of course not. Of course not. It's Avengers Endgame, guys.
And that basically sums up our feelings on Avengers Endgame. The hype is real.
It is real.
Oh, it's real.
As Benedict, Dr. Steve Strange Cumberbatch said, we're in the Endgame now. It's time. It's time for as they call it, the Thanos saga now. They're calling it the Thanos saga. The Thanos saga is coming to an
They're not
end.
calling it the Thanos saga.
I thought it was the Thanos saga.
No. It's the Infinity.
Infinity Saga
Yeah.
is the Infinity Saga.
Saga.
Makes sense.
Yeah, no, that does make sense because what's the first appearance of an Infinity Stone? It's the Tesseract
In Captain America, the first Avenger.
Yep. Okay, so since the
Well,
first,
actually, technically, it would be Thor.
That's what I was thinking.
In the after credit scene for Thor. That's when we first see the Tesseract.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
tech-
you're right.
Technically, it is Thor,
Yeah.
but really, it plays a
Playing a
prominent
part in
role
the
in.
movie is
It plays an actual part in the movie in Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yeah. So in Thor, it shows up in Captain America: First Avenger. It's part of the plot, and then we get the Avengers, where it's all about the Tesseract and the Mind Stone. No.
Yes, the Mind Stone's in the scepter.
In the scepter, and so those two
But
are.
we don't know that until
in the
Ultron.
Avengers. So since then, we have the Infinity Saga. We have weird smiley Thanos at the end of Avengers, and that means nothing basically because they tease you with the to attack Earth is to court death, and they tease you with the original comic storyline of
Yeah.
Thanos being in love with death. I personally am pretty happy that they didn't go that route.
Me too. This is so much better, the
Yeah.
route that they went, that he just wants to balance out the
The
universe.
balance, the 50-50 balance thing was a lot more understandable and reasonable to get behind. I
Yeah.
think it being in love with death thing is so comic book. It's like
It would have been too much, especially because Deadpool is in love with death too.
they don't do that in the Deadpool movies
Well,
either.
that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
That's just so ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, for comic
For
books,
comic
no.
books, it's not ridiculous.
Yeah, it's about right.
But to put it on screen,
Yeah.
it's a little
You couldn't do it.
ridiculous
You
for us,
couldn't do it.
especially for something that's I'm not going to say that the MCU takes itself so seriously, but it's something that's just out of the realm.
well, the MCU grounds itself
Yeah.
in the real world, kinda. There's enough.
Oof.
Especially when it started.
I don't know about that.
Well,
It
when
does,
it
though.
started, it did.
Yes.
with Iron Man,
Iron Man and
Ugh,
even
Iron Man.
Captain America.
Captain America feels no, not even Captain America. No, this shit is fake, guys. It's comic books. It's fake from the very beginning, where Iron Man flies out of the goddamn cave in the big old clunky Iron Man suit. This is comic books from start to finish. I just think it's more palatable.
Yeah.
Not including
Yeah.
the death scenario, the
Being in love with
personification of death and wanting to bang her. I don't think that's needed in these situations.
I
Peter is so fucking confused right now. I can tell.
I thought Hela might have maybe filled that role of death, possibly.
That's a really
because she
good
technically is the goddess of death.
Yeah, but then they killed her.
But
off
then they
right
killed her
away.
off at the end of
No,
Ragnarok.
I never thought of that.
That she's
That's
the
a
goddess.
really
That could have
good
been,
point.
yeah. That
Yeah.
could have been something.
That
Really
could have been the
I mean, you
point of
have
that.
Kate Blanchett. Why not fucking
Exactly.
go for it? But they didn't.
I mean, I thought she actually made it out at the end of Ragnarok, because you see her you see like her green thing go, like her, like, teleport away like Loki does.
but you see, they kind of build her up as being invincible.
Yeah.
So like,
She'll be back.
Yeah,
I
she'll
think
be
I
back.
think she'll be back.
be
Yeah.
back.
I think we actually might see, my little prediction here as we get into our predictions, I think there's a possibility we might see her in Endgame.
Wow.
I think just because the way that, because obviously, with death in Norse mythology and Valhalla, Hela is the reign,
Yeah.
the leader of Valhalla. And I think that's something that we might see in Endgame.
I think that's actually a really interesting idea, and it made me think, what if they go like a full comic book route of having just like all the classic villains take on all the original Avengers in a weird like battle royale? It's not gonna happen. It's gonna be Thanos versus
That's
the
wishful
Avengers.
thinking.
This
Yeah.
movie's gonna be full of callbacks for sure.
Absolutely.
It's 3 hours long. Got to fill it with something.
All right, so let's start off with How do you think the movie's going to go, Zach?
In what sense? Like, where are they going to take the
Take
plot?
me through what you think the plot's going to be like.
Well, I think the trailers are not something to take at all. I think they're really good now at faking out people in trailers.
Sure.
They're really good at planting footage that isn't actually in the movie.
Real quick, speaking of footage, did everyone here watch the minute clip? Or am I the only one?
No,
which one's
I didn't, and I don't want to
No.
fucking hear about it.
Which one's the minute clip?
So the clip they just released earlier this week, where
You know your teams. You know your mission.
no, that
Not
was
that
the
one.
TV
Okay, that's the
spot.
30-second
There was
spot.
an
That's the
actually like a
30-second
minute, 16-second clip.
Is it the one where "Do you trust me"?
No. So you didn't watch it either, huh?
What? I'm confused of what clip. I've been watching.
There was
everything.
an actual clip from the movie released.
Oh wait, let's go get this son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I watched that clip.
The I have telepathy part. Have you heard anything about that?
Well, I mean, I'm on social media. Of course, I've heard
Have
about
you-
it, but I don't buy it.
I don't know. It's interesting. I think that's probably.
I'm getting angrier and angrier the more you talk about it. When the Super Bowl trailer came out, from that point on, I was like, I am done. I don't want to see anything else. I want to see the end of this movie. However, I'm kind of in hopes that this press release was true. They said that every trailer leading up to this movie is only from the first 15 minutes of the movie.
I'm sure.
So
I would say half hour because there's some stuff in there that definitely doesn't look like it's in the first
Unless it's
15
doctored.
minutes. Unless it's doctored. Yeah,
I feel like a lot of it's doctored. So going back to what you asked me.
Right. So I want you to take me through what you think the plot of the movie is going to be.
I think that Tony Stark and Nebula end up meeting with the Avengers, but not in the way they show it in the trailers. They're showing that they get back to Earth. I don't think that happens. I think that they get to Thanos because Nebula knows where Thanos is. I feel like she definitely knows. I feel like there's going to be a conversation where Tony Stark says, where could he have gone? And she's going to say, well, he talks about this or that or whatever. Whatever she says, being the daughter of Thanos, she should know. So they head there. Then the Avengers back on Earth, they're going to be met by Captain Marvel, who is going to basically help
Which has
them.
already happened. Marvel's already.
Yes, in the end of
Yeah,
Captain
at the
Marvel,
end of Captain Marvel,
they do the
she's-
throwaway scene, which is fucking dumb, by the way. I really don't like that movie, but that's a different conversation. They do the throwaway scene where she comes in her best Brie Larson acting goes, "Where's Fury?" And so now we know there's a lot of shouting going on.
It's very Spanish.
I think they're excited about Avengers 2. I think Brie Larson is going to have some sort of knowledge or know something that will help them get there. So you guys are getting really distracted by all the shouting.
I just hear Spanish chanting in the background.
All right.
This came to a screeching halt.
All right, so here.
So it's going to be like two paths meeting at the middle. That's where I'm saying the first half of this movie is going to go. It's going to be two paths heading towards the middle. I don't know how Captain America gets his shield back. That's kind of something I'm struggling with. They make it back to Avengers HQ, so it's got to be there, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to find it at some point there.
The proto shield from Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I mean,
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
They made mention of it.
I don't know. I feel like this.
Never thought of that.
I feel like the whole point of this movie is a throwback. Like the whole idea is this is the original Avengers
it's the original six.
winning for the team for the good guys. So exactly the original.
The original six.
So it's got to be the original Shield, and so they're gonna take that all the way to where Thanos is. What do they call it? Do you guys know what they call it?
Titan, right?
No, he's not on Titan.
Oh, he's not on Titan?
He's in the Garden. That's what it's called. They call it the Garden. That's all it is.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to find the Garden. They're going to get to the Garden. Then we're going to get... I'm going to call it right now. Here's my prediction. We're going to get at least an hour-long fight scene. This is a 3-hour movie. We're getting 2 hours of fight. We're getting 2 hours of plot, and we're getting one straight fucking hour, at least, of battle.
Well, I'm looking forward to giving you my point of view because I have something along those lines, but I think with a little bit of a twist.
So that kind of sums up where I'm feeling.
Okay.
That's where I think, and then all the little things in between, that's for the movie to decide. But I think that's kind of where the plot's going to go.
How about you, Peter? What are you thinking?
This is one of those movies where I can't give a prediction because the concept of Infinity War just threw any idea I had out.
Did you think that Thanos was going to lose in the end, and that was going to be the end?
No, I always knew that they were going to go
The
further.
snap.
Yeah. I thought that Endgame was going to be a two-parter. but I guess I
Oh,
was
this
wrong.
coming movie you thought it was going to be a
Yeah.
two-parter.
If I have to wait another year
Yeah.
and a half for answers,
I'm honestly even shocked that we only had to wait a year for this
Yeah.
movie.
Well,
That's even amazing.
They were shot back to back.
Yeah.
Endgame and Infinity War were shot back to back. So this was actually the first time that Brie Larson played Captain Marvel was in Endgame. She shot Endgame
Yes,
before
they shot
she
Endgame
shot,
before
I
they
didn't know
shot.
that.
before she shot Captain Marvel.
So it kind of, and that even makes it worse because that the Russo brothers made her look awesome. Because I trust the Russo brothers with Captain Marvel. I feel like they probably made her look really great, and they probably have really great dialogue written for her. But the Captain Marvel movie itself was so bland
it was.
and boring that I could only hope that her character will really shine from Endgame.
I have a good feeling that it's going to.
I feel
I
like
do.
I feel like it could too. Also, real quick, I don't think she's gonna be the Thanos killer. I don't think so.
I
I'll
think
wait to
I
say
feel
what I have to say.
I feel like that'd be a kind of
Yeah.
cheap on everything that we've had come before for her to just come in and just kill.
They're also
Thanos.
telegraphing it
Yeah.
by telling us she's the strongest in the universe.
Yeah.
They're telegraphing it, which tells me she's not going to be the strongest in the universe. She's going to get her ass kicked by that. Not ass kicked, but Thanos will beat her in
Yeah.
some fashion.
I think, in terms of what I think is going to happen in this movie is, well, I think time travel is definitely going to play some part. I think they're going to go after the stones, the original 6 plus Rhodey, Captain Marvel, Rocket, Nebula. I think they're all going to go
Through the
after the
quantum
stones
realm?
through the quantum realm. I think that's why they all have those white suits.
Yeah.
I think they're even named the quantum realm suits, but. I think that's what's going to happen is they're going to go
Look
out.
at that. Isn't that
Look
easy?
at that. The where was I? Shit.
They're going back in time.
They're going back in
suits.
time. I think we're going to see because I think that scene in I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen it? In the trailer, the one where they announced the tickets on sale. The one where Captain America and Tony are standing next to each other.
Oh, he goes, do you trust me?
Yeah. Do you trust me?
Yeah.
Right. I think Cap's suit is altered in that clip. I think that's his Captain America, not Captain America, the Avengers suit from 2012. I think he's actually wearing that suit. I think that scene's in 2012.
That suit's fucking hideous.
Oh, it is. It is.
I really
It's
hope he
not
doesn't
good.
wear that.
He is. He is wearing it
He's
in the
definitely wearing it.
He's wearing it in the film. There's set photos of him wearing
God
the first Avengers
damn it.
suit.
Oh.
Oh, because you're saying they're going back to the original.
They're going
Avengers
back
movie.
to the original
Yeah,
Avengers
I see
movie,
what you're saying. Yeah,
and he's wearing. And he I think that scene takes
Yeah.
place in 2012.
because Loki's there too.
Yes,
I remember
think,
those set photos as well.
I think because I think that's Tony from now, from our Tony, and that's old Cap, in that one little scene, that's like 2012 Cap.
Right.
I think, but I think time travel is going to play a part, and I think we're going to see a lot of death.
So do I.
I think Cap's,
I don't know about a lot of death. I think we're going to see big death. We're going
Yeah,
to see
well-
at least one, maybe two. I think two is even pushing it, but we're going to get one of the main characters.
All right. So
for sure.
So who's your big death?
Cap. I think Cap's eating it.
But if you tune into the Fool's Perspective every week, you'll know that one of my original predictions is Captain America will not die.
Really?
That's
Yeah, I
going to
don't
be
think
the
he's gonna
shocking
die
thing.
I
Captain
thi-
America will not die in this movie. Tony Stark is going to die.
I think they're both going
I was saying.
Thor dying is
I was going to say Thor too.
Thor dying is a big take because I almost don't think they can do that after Ragnarok. I think people want more of that type
Thor
of
is
Thor.
going to die, and a female's going to pick up the mantle of Thor.
Yeah, they're going to go that route, aren't they? I don't want. No, I shouldn't have said it like that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm
No,
just
I'm
saying.
going to be honest with you. So in the comic books, it's
Yeah, I know.
Jane Foster.
and it's great. It's a great story.
So you're saying Natalie Portman's going to take over as Thor?
No, they're
No.
going to have to find another way to work it. But if they have the
Valkyrie.
format to make it work.
They could have Valkyrie
would be
take over
great.
as Thor, but
Right.
I don't think Thor's going to die. I think Thor's one of the only few.
So
I
you
think we
say
might
a lot
see,
of death. What are you saying?
I'm thinking 4. I'm thinking
Four deaths
I'm thinking
of
4
the original cast.
6.
Well, you know it's not Black Widow.
Well,
Yep.
we don't know it's not.
well,
Black
it
Widow.
could be.
It could be a prequel.
It could be a prequel
series,
movie.
exactly.
We don't know. They haven't announced anything past Far From Home.
Yeah.
I think Cap and Iron Man are both probably eating it at different points of the movie. I think Cap's eating it, trying to hold off Thanos. I think that's when we're going to get that comic accurate scene of, as long as one man stands against you, you'll never be able to claim victory.
But he
Cap
doesn't die
says-
in that scene.
Well, no, I know he doesn't die in that scene. I think he's going to die.
I think You're 100% right. We're getting that scene.
I think we're getting that scene. I think that's
It
where
would be
he
a
eats
fucking
it.
tragedy. And the Russo brothers are comic nerds, so
No,
they're definitely throwing that
100%
scene.
We're getting that
Yeah.
scene. It's just
But
when in the movie we're going to get
if-
that scene.
I think
If he
yeah.
dies before he gets to say Avengers Assemble, I'm going to be very disappointed.
I think it's going to be the end. I think it's going to be the finale. I think we're going to
Yeah.
get that moment where the Avengers are down and out, and Cap reinvigorates the team. I think by then Iron Man is dead. I think somebody's dead
You
by
think
then. I think.
How about Hulk?
I could see it because Hulk's the only one they can't make a movie out of
Yeah,
because they don't have the distribution rights.
Hulk could die.
Hulk could die. I think you could see Hawkeye bite it.
Oh, I hope he dies.
Oh my
All right, so
god!
I'm gonna get to. I want to get to my predictions here because
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I think what's going to happen is you're going to have the remaining Avengers, dealing with the fallout of dealing with the fallout of the decimation. I'm glad I refilled my water bottle.
Yeah.
Locating Thanos and going to fight Thanos and killing Thanos in the beginning of the movie.
They're going to kill Thanos in the beginning?
Thanos,
Really?
Wow.
he's hurt. The gauntlet probably doesn't work as well as it does. He can't do anything major like the snap anymore, and they go and they kill Thanos. And it doesn't change a thing. They go back to Earth. Ultimately, Tony and Nebula come back, and everyone goes on their merry way, living as the Avengers, but knowing that ultimately everyone they lost can't come back. Until Ant-Man comes out of the quantum realm, and they realize they might be able to utilize the quantum realm to go back and change everything. That's my major prediction. They go back, they bring Thanos back to life to try and rewrite everything, ultimately changing the very base of the MCU.
Wow.
Yeah.
That really threw me for a loop.
That's my major prediction.
That's
I think Thanos dies within the first hour of the movie. They
That's
kill
a
Thanos.
really hot take.
Who kills him?
Captain Marvel.
I think if
See,
anybody
I see where
kills
you're
him-
going with this, because then if they go back in time, Captain Marvel's gone.
Right.
Wow.
That's an interesting take.
I actually really like that.
I
That's a
I
good
almost
take.
like it too much. I almost feel like that's what they're going to do now. And now when I see it happen, I'm going to be really pissed off.
I feel like that's the good route to go. I think when they go, if time travel, and I agree with you, I think time travel is going to be part of it. I think it's pretty much almost.
Given.
It's,
I
it's
think
almost.
it's a-
yeah,
I
They've
think it's a
almost,
given
they've
at
almost
this
said
point.
it was.
I think they're going to split up into separate teams and all have their own separate missions.
Yes.
And then, they'll probably. What I really think is the final battle against Thanos is going to be against. You're going to have, like, let's say, our Tony Stark going back in time and recruiting the Captain America from Avengers, right? Let's just use that for instance. You're going to have, multiple Captain Americas and multiple different heroes fighting Thanos when he's going to get the Power Stone at Xandar.
Yep.
Because that was never shown in Infinity War, and that's where I think the final battle is going to take place. They're going to interrupt
Oh,
Thanos
they're going to get him before he gets the
before
first
he
one.
even gets the first stone. And I think that's why it wasn't included in Infinity War. I think that's where the final battle is going to take place.
I think you're 1,000% wrong about that. I think Xandar wasn't included because they just felt like, fuck it.
Maybe.
You know he can do it. So
Maybe.
I think that was the purpose of that. But to reincorporate it, that's a different idea.
Right.
I don't think they did it because it was going to be an Endgame. I think reincorporating it is actually a really good.
But I really truly believe that Thanos will be defeated within the first hour of the movie.
that's
crazy.
really smart.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think that's a good idea. I don't know. I think I don't know. I feel like there's got to be some sort of build. I think it would be a really interesting perspective to have our heroes win, but they still lose. They beat Thanos. Nah, you're
but
right.
it didn't change anything.
This is the first time they finally have something to avenge.
yeah.
So I mean that's a good point. They could go.
And it could be a real big, because like they can do Captain America fully bearded, and the twist is that the shaved Captain America is from like 5 years later,
Right.
and that's
And they're living,
they've been living with it, for years. And Tony Stark makes it back, and they tell him like, "Hey, we got him," but nothing happened, nothing changed.
Nothing changed. Couldn't change anything. What's done is done.
Damn.
I think
That's a really
and I
good
wanted
take.
to see that too, because I think what I'm hoping for, and I've mentioned it before, for Infinity War, for all its Stark moments, was really, my God, there's really a lot of Spanish chanting. They're having like a sigil back there.
We can fix it in post.
So, Infinity War, for all its Stark moments, was really still a very upbeat movie. A lot of comedic relief, very funny. A a lot of funny pop culture references. I think Endgame needs to start dark.
Yeah.
And I think what better way to keep that tone going for the first half of the movie to actually really have our heroes lose. I don't think they've lost enough yet. I think by losing by winning would be the best way to do it in the beginning of this movie. So what I mean by that is beating Thanos, but ultimately not being.
Let me ask you something though. What was your idea of the Thor axe moment though? Isn't that exactly what you're saying though? Thor beats him. He straight up got him.
Yeah.
He outpowers him. He outstrengths him. He just straight up murks him. And then by then it didn't matter. So that in a way they almost already did that with you should have gone with the head. I feel like
you're right, but I don't think
because again in that whole scene Thanos is really the last stand.
Right.
Thor completely decimates the entire army.
Yeah.
They don't stand a chance against Thor.
No.
Right. And even Thanos with all 5 fucking stones doesn't stand a chance against
because
Thor.
he uses all 5 of those stones to create a badass laser beam.
Big old laser beam. That's what you got to do in movies. Laser beams. People love it. And so even that, Thor completely destroys him.
Right.
But his hubris and him feeling like I can destroy you right now is what costs them everything.
This movie,
Yeah.
I think, is really going to hit on a really deep emotional level. And I think it needs to because it's
Yeah.
been a culmination of so many different things. And we all genuinely really care about these characters. We really do. That's what Marvel does such a good job is we really care about these characters and where they're headed and where they're going and where they've been. And it's something that I wish The Dark Knight Rises would have done a little bit better job of making our characters suffer, which just makes the return to greatness that much better.
Because when I think Avengers, I think The Dark Knight Rises for sure.
No, what I'm saying is, in The Dark Knight Rises, did anybody truly feel like Bruce Wayne suffered that much?
His back broke.
Great, and he fixed it with a rope and a guy punching him in the side.
How else would you fix
And
it?
then he did a bunch of push-ups, and then he climbed out of the prison that nobody else was able to do. Like, that movie, I'm just going to real quick.
Well, he wasn't scared. He was angry.
Right, great. So that movie could have been 10 times better if it really would have just dealt with Bruce Wayne suffering for much longer. It would have made his return feel more triumphant. I think Endgame is going to do something along those lines where they're really going to put our heroes through the grinder emotionally more. And I think what better way to do that than to beat the guy but not win the war. So to win the battle but not win the war.
I'm totally with you. Like I said, it's a really good take. That's a really good prediction, and it could definitely happen. But I'm thinking about it in my head, and I'm thinking it almost kind of takes away from the Captain America speech. I think if you don't have that be technically their first encounter, like
hold on, you talk about the speech where like you have your missions.
Yeah.
I think that speech is playing for them all going into different.
No.
No, he's talking about as long as one man stands against you, you'll never be able to claim victory.
I don't think that happens
in the first hour.
Yeah, that can't happen in the first hour, and it can't happen after they've already fought. I don't think that happens.
Yeah,
I think that it just doesn't fit the same.
If they've already beaten him, then that kind of defeats the purpose of the
him
speech.
saying that. Of him
saying you'll never be able to claim victory as long as one man.
Because he's already beaten him at that point. I think it kind of takes away from that. Because you can't do that speech in the beginning.
No,
you can't do that.
No, you're right.
That has to be right before the final battle.
It has to be the final thing. It has to be his. If Cap dies, he has to say that first. At least.
Yeah.
So it has to be in the finale. So I think, like I said, your prediction is really smart. It's really well thought out, and it's the webbing works. Like everything fits. But I think when you think about logistically, they need that scene. And I don't think that scene works with that opening.
I agree with you on that point. And the last thing I'm going to say is I don't think Cap is going to die, but I think they're going to leave him back in time.
That's what I'm saying.
To live out his days.
My prediction was Cap will be alive by the end of the movie, but not necessarily with the Avengers.
And you'll get an old man Steve Rogers return
in 29. I don't know. I'd rather see him eat it. I think I'd rather see him eat it than back in time. What does him back in time do? Doesn't that change the entire history?
Yeah, that's the point.
It also ruins Peggy Carter's life that she apparently had a really good life.
Yeah, basically saying
have a better one. Steve Rogers is home.
Well, fuck the guy she ends up marrying. I guess.
I mean, yeah.
He ends up killing himself.
The events of this movie are going to change. The ripples are going to change the foundation of the MCU.
Yes,
that's already been confirmed.
I absolutely agree with that.
And these changes have to be Pretty substantial because I think this is the first step towards the X-Men and the Fantastic Four being a part of the MCU.
Now, here, this is a good way to. We should hit the end game, if you will, of this podcast.
Wrapping it up.
I think this movie. There's no way the X-Men or Fantastic Four are not mentioned in this movie. There's
I
no
think the
way.
Fantastic
They
Four are
have
more
to be in
likely.
it.
I think the Fantastic Four are going to be more likely mentioned in
One or the other.
That
Someone
actually
has to be in
that
this
actually
movie.
plays into question I was going to ask you guys is, do you think we're going to have an end credit scene?
Yes.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be.
And you
Galactus.
think it's going to be Galactus?
I think it's. Gonna be
I think it's going to be Galactus
think it's
too.
gonna be
You know who bought the Avengers Tower, right?
Doctor Doom.
No, it's going to.
You think it's Reed Richards?
Reed Richards, and he's going to turn it into the Baxter Building.
Either that, or
I don't think that works though. Isn't the Baxter Building just a building? Like it's just a regular building?
You know,
Either
Avengers
that
Tower
or
is just a
it
building, too.
No, the Avengers Tower is Avengers Tower. It's Stark Tower.
And it's about to become Baxter Building.
That
or
makes sense.
or Norman Osborn could buy it and it become Osborn Tower.
Yeah, but that's already
to set up.
established.
Well, it's not established yet.
There's no Oscorp in
There's
this,
no Oscorp in the MCU yet.
Really?
Yeah, there's not
There's
a
no mention
single
of Oscorp?
mention
No.
of
In-
Osborn or
Norman
Oscorp in
Osborn would make a
Homecoming.
really good grounded antagonist for the Avengers. He does in the comic books. He has some really good stories.
I don't care.
Especially with his dark event. If you get into some real comic stuff, you get into his dark Avengers pretty much.
Yeah.
With like Venom and all these. Well, not
Yeah,
that.
let's
not,
bring Venom into this.
let's
That
not-
would make
let's
I
not
was
talk
listening
about
to
the
Eminem before, and it was Eminem like 10 years ago, and it was so much better.
let's not talk about the Tom Hardy Venom. I'm not talking about that Venom. He's not in the
I mean,
MCU.
he has to be.
Yeah,
if
come on.
'cause that movie made too much money for it to not be Tom Hardy.
Everybody, stop watching
Also-
shit movies and just watch the good ones. Stop.
Do you guys think there's a scene? Because I personally want a scene because I think Mjolnir's coming back in some way just from time ripples.
Cap's gonna pick it up.
That's exactly my thing. I want to see Cap wield Mjolnir.
They teased it really well in Age of
In
Ultron.
Ultron.
Cap's gonna pick it up. So think about Cap holding the hammer and Thor having Stormbreaker going after Thanos at the same time. Fantastic.
Again, I think that takes away from the speech. I think it makes Cap seem
You
too.
say that, but I'm rock hard
may-
right now.
I'm thinking that, but I'm thinking he has Mjolnir. I'm thinking he has Mjolnir at the end of the movie. In that final fight, he's got his speech, and Mjolnir's on there, and he just picks up Mjolnir as he's saying his speech or
But
something.
if I'm
or
Thor,
something like
realistically, if I'm Thor, fuck Mjolnir.
yeah.
Stormbreaker's
Oh no,
awesome.
absolutely,
Stormbreaker's the
absolutely.
greatest weapon ever.
Cap, you take it. You
Yeah,
got it.
fuck it. I don't want this toy anymore.
Stormbreaker's definitely better than Mjolnir, but I still want to see a scene of just because we all know
It would be great
from
fan
comics.
service.
Yeah.
But like I said, realistically, if I'm Thor, this is the greatest thing I've ever held
Oh
in my life.
So
Well, I think he's gonna have both of them.
It also has the last remnants of Groot. And you
That's true.
can't kind of take that away.
Why didn't that disappear though?
'Cause it's not
If
part of
Groot
anymore.
disappeared-
It wasn't part of Groot anymore.
It's not alive.
That's true.
It's not living. It's just.
Well, neither was fucking what's his face's what's it called? Winter Soldier's metal arm that disappears.
But it was
Yeah.
attached to him.
Groot's arm was attached to him at one point.
Not anymore.
Okay. Anyways, wait, does his gun disappear now? It falls, right?
It falls.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Now, if the gun was attached to him like it was in a leg, that would disappear too.
All right. So I think end credit scene. We're gonna Avengers 2012 it. It's not gonna be the immediate next big bad, but Galactus is gonna be
There's
teased.
gonna be two. There's gonna be two end credit scenes. So yes.
Yes, but I think one of them's gonna be an okay one. Like one of them's gonna be like, and here we are, we're the new Avengers, and then the final. The thing everyone's going to leave the theater with knowing is the next big bad. That's what I'm saying is the final end credit scene of this movie.
I don't think it's gonna be Galactus.
I think it's going to be Galactus.
I just got a feeling.
Like I said, it's not going to be the next big bad. It's going to be the big bad of the next arc of this story.
Sure. No,
like
I get what
Thanos
you're
was
saying.
for Avengers.
who other than Galactus? Who's the next big threat in the Marvel universe?
My thought, Doctor Doom.
I was leaning towards.
Has to be
I was
Doctor Doom.
yeah.
Doctor Doom was so underutilized in those. I mean, the Fantastic Four movies were bad, but
Yeah.
that character is so underappreciated from
Absolutely.
the mass
He's,
audience.
he's one of the best Marvel villains of all time, if not
Exactly.
the best Marvel villain of all time.
If they're bringing in Fantastic Four, they have to do Doctor Doom right. They have to do him justice, and the best way to do him justice would be to make him an Avengers villain, not a Fantastic Four villain, an Avengers villain. So
I also think there's a chance that you may get Kang the Conqueror.
That's a good point, but then that's just going to lead into more time travel.
Well, I think that you've opened the door now, so if
Yeah.
you're going to use Kang, now would be the time to do it.
do we think anybody who was dusted or died in Infinity War is not coming back?
No. Everyone that's dusted is coming.
Yeah, I'd say they're all coming back.
Gamora.
I think
Gamora
everybody
wasn't dusted.
Well, that's what I'm
But she's
saying.
coming
Anybody
back.
who died in I'm saying I think everybody who's dusted is coming back. I think people who died before the dust is not coming
I
back.
think Loki's dead for good.
Me too.
I think that's one
Yeah.
of those things that they're not gonna back out on. I think Loki's dead for good, and I think Vision is dead for good. Because when they go back in time, he doesn't have the Mind Stone anymore. It's not in his head anymore, so he can't come back. He can't be a thing anymore.
And what about Gamora? Do you think Gamora's
Coming back?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not having Gamora in fucking Guardians. Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't even want to think about how they're gonna make it work storyline wise. They're not doing Guardians 3 without Gamora. It's just not gonna happen.
I mean, or Guardians 3 could take place, because they got 5 years before.
Yes, technically
between Guardians 2 and
Well,
Infinity
no,
War.
Guardians 3 is because Guardians 3 is gonna have Adam Warlock. So if you had Adam Warlock in already established, he'd probably be a part of this whole Thanos saga. So
Yeah, he would. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good point.
he would have already been there.
Yeah.
You're right. So Adam Warlock's because as the comic nerds know, Adam Warlock is kind of like the hero or the big bad of the Infinity Gauntlet saga.
He's
He
one
kind
of
of like saves the day.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They didn't do anything to build him up, so
No.
he's not going to be that guy. So we're not seeing Adam Warlock at least until the next Guardians movie.
But first, you have to sit through Suicide Squad too.
I actually think
What?
it's going to be pretty good.
Oh, you mean for James Gunn's sake?
I think I got faith with
I'm-
James
I'm
Gunn
excited
directing.
for
I got
James
faith
Gunn's
in
The
him.
Suicide
second we
Squad.
start talking about Suicide Squad, I feel like when we should wrap it up.
I think we're done here.
I think so too.
All right, I think the only real way to end this is to do a good old-fashioned Avengers 4 speculation. So take everything we just said, now come up with a singular, this is how the rules work. You come up with a singular prediction. It could be even a minute detail, but it can't be a grand conspiracy. It has to be a singular prediction, and I'll start so you guys have an idea what I'm doing. So my, I guess, second to last Avengers 4 speculation for the speculation section is there will be a moment in this movie where someone drops an F-bomb. We're getting an F-bomb in this movie.
Peter, what do you got?
Why'd you go with me after him?
Remember, it could be just a minute detail.
I think Hulk eats it early in the movie.
Ooh.
I think it's that's tough because so it's just like a singular.
You can be
A
one
singular
singular
moment.
moment detail, but it can't be like this happens and then this happens and this happens.
I think Cap picks up Mjolnir. I think that's
You're
my
gonna
thing.
stick with that?
I'm gonna stick with my Cap because I really just want to see it more than anything.
Yeah, it would be really cool.
Going into my theory about how you may deal with fighting Thanos on multiple times in different timelines, Nebula will kill Thanos once.
I like that.
I like it. I like it. And with that, I think we're ready to see Endgame.
Yeah,
I was ready the second I walked out of Infinity War.
I'm geared up, man.
Honestly, dude, it's time.
whatever it takes.
It's time to finish whatever it takes.
Yep.
Even if it means being single.
Oof.
Whatever it takes.
And with that, I'm Zach.
I'm Justin.
I'm Anthony.
And I'm confused.
Okay, bye.